Did you know we've been producing Larry's Country Diner for almost 9 years? We recently counted the episodes. We have over 250 of them, 16 seasons worth. Well, that's a ton of great music, laughter, and stories. We thought it was time to do a review of some of our favorite Larry's Country Diner moments from years past. Not a rerun, but a review. So we asked our sponsors, Springer Mountain Farms, Boot Daddy, and Tartar Farm and Ranch, to sit down with the rest of the cast to talk about our favorite moments so we can share them with you. It was a blast. Let's start things off as we always do. Here's an opening from several years ago.
Welcome into Larry's Country Diner, where the coffee's hot, the burgers are greasy, and we got the sweetest iced tea in 7 states. Folks, we're going to have a good time. You never know who's going to drop in. Right now, I'd like to introduce you to the proprietor and the fella you need to see in case the soup's not quite hot enough. Would you welcome Larry?
I thought you were going to forget the opening.
Well, there were things between me and the pointer back there.
Okay, we always open the show with a promise. Let everything that hath breath praise the Lord, praise ye the Lord. We can do that. The year was 1965. Don't know what you were doing in 1965, but the Ballad of Green Beret was playing on the radio. Remember that? Sergeant Barry Sadler? The Sounds of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, Mamas and Papas, Monday, Monday, and Percy Sledge. When a man... I probably shouldn't sing that, though, should I? In the country world, it was rock and roll, rock singer Conway Twitty, which is how he started, makes his country debut. His first country singles and the albums were met with some country DJs refusing to play him. He was a well-known rock and roll singer, and the country guys just didn't want to play him, I guess. Johnny Cash is banned from the Grand Ole Opry after an infamous concert where, in a drug-induced haze, he used a microphone to smash the floodlights. He also walked off stage in the middle of a song. And on the charts, Buck Owens was doing this song. Plain to see. Roger Miller had King of the Road. Del Reeves had Girl on the Billboard. And Marty Robbins had Ribbon of Darkness. A new house cost you an average of $13,600. And your average income was $6,469 a year. A new car, $2,614. Gasoline was 31 cents. Movie tickets were $1.25, and postage was 5 cents a letter. World Series. Anybody know who won the World Series in 1965? Los Angeles Dodgers. U.S. Open. Gary Player. Anybody remember the blackout? Know where you were during the blackout?
Yeah.
Where were you, ma'am?
I'm not telling.
And it'll be forever a secret. I got something.
There were a lot of babies born later there.
That's right. 9 months to the day, yeah. I got something I want you to see. What? Who? I think I recognize this guy. Play that piece that we've got from To Tell the Truth. Let that roll.
Our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Bill Anderson.
My name is Bill Anderson.
My name is Bill Anderson.
Panel, would you please listen while I read? I, Bill Anderson, was a college student 6 years ago. Today, I am generally considered to be the top composer of country music in the nation. Country or hillbilly music accounts for almost half of all the record sales in these United States. One of my songs sold over 3 million copies. Country music's equivalent of the Oscar is the BMI Award. I have won this award 23 times to date. In the 6 years since I left college, I have written some 350 published songs. Signed, Bill Anderson. Time to vote. Without consultation, please mark your ballots. selecting, if you will, number 1, number 2, or number 3. And again, I'm curious to see how you vote. Everybody said? Okay, Tom, how did you vote this time?
I voted for number 1, Bob. And I think CBS just bought the Fender-based company. I'm surprised that they weren't aware of that.
Is that right? Peggy?
Well, I goofed. I voted for number 3, but now I just remembered he had to look down at his own suit to see if there were snowflakes. If he just said it would be in the closet, he'd know there were snowflakes.
Orson?
I was all set to vote for number 3, and there's something about the way he said that Minnie Pearl was a comedian in the Grand Ole Opry, even though she is, that shifted me over to number 1. It's a bad reason, but the best I could come up with.
Hey, Kitty.
I voted for number 3. I thought number 3 gave the best answers, and I still don't understand why they're wearing those costumes.
Well, you may find out in a minute. All the votes are in. Their minds are made up. Do you at home agree with them? Well, we'll find out now. Let's see which of these 3 gentlemen is the real composer of country music. Will the real Bill Anderson please stand up?
No.
Oh! That's the real Bill Anderson. Now, will the real Bill Anderson please stand up? Whoa! Whoa! Come on over, Bill.
Oh, thank you.
Have a seat. Renee, would you give me a Coke or something? Thank you. How you doing, guy?
I'm doing well.
Thanks for stopping by.
Have I aged a little bit since then?
Not that I can tell. But how many songs have you written since then?
Oh, a whole bunch of them. That was a fun night. That was done in New York City, of course. And you can tell how well-known Bill Anderson was back then, because nobody, knew who I was. Interesting little tidbit. The guy in the middle is very famous for something
Orson,
way...
was it Bean? What was his name?
No, the guy in the middle, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
The guy on the left, number 1, he was a bookseller from Birmingham, Alabama. The guy in the middle was a professional baseball player. He was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox at that time, and he threw the pitch that Roger Maris hit for his 61st home run. His name was Tracy Stallard.
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah. That's who the other 2 guys were.
Well, I found it interesting that at Kitty Calumet, that's the way New York looks at country.
Well, I didn't understand what she meant. I said Minnie Pearl was a comedian.
He said, comedian. And said,
well, that's what
threw
she
him
is.
off.
Why? That's what she was.
And then she said, I still can't understand why they wear those costumes.
Earlier in the show, she had asked me, she said, number 3, why do you have on that costume? Mm-hmm. Well, they had told me to bring 2. In fact, number 1 was wearing one of my costumes, too. That was one of mine.
Yeah.
And they told me to bring that. So, and I was sworn to tell the truth. So she said, why are you wearing that? I said, because it's all I have. And it was the truth, but it got a big laugh from the crowd.
You've always been a songwriter, haven't you?
I came to Nashville to be a songwriter.
But you started out as a disc jockey.
Before that, yeah, I was a disc jockey.
I found it interesting that, and you tell me if this is true or not, back in Georgia, somebody engineered at a radio station your first song, or you engineered somebody else's first song at a radio station?
First record I ever made for a little company out of San Antonio, Texas, was engineered in a radio station in Decatur, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta, by a guy that went on to have some pretty good records himself. At the time, he was a disc jockey there. His name was Roy Drusky.
My goodness, incredible.
Roy denied that most of his life. I never did that. Don't blame me.
Merle Kilgore, tremendous writer, a good singer, a good entertainer. He really told stories well.
Yes.
But in addition to writing Ring of Fire with June Carter, he wrote Wolverton Mountain. Do you remember the story of that, how he wrote that?
Claude King told me this story. I had Claude on my radio show that I do on satellite radio, and he told me the story. the way I remembered, I think Merle actually had an uncle named Clifton
Yes.
Clowers
Yes.
that lived in Arkansas on a mountain known as Wolverton Mountain. So he didn't have to make up a whole lot of it. I guess he made up the part maybe about the good-looking daughter or whatever, but the story was really founded and based in truth.
I think what he said that day was that he had a daughter and he just wanted to write a song for his uncle Clifton Clowers.
Yeah, I think.
And so the rest of it was kind of made up. We're going to roll that piece of him singing on Country's Family Reunion, Wolverton Mountain.
I'd
Let it
love to
roll,
see that.
guys.
They say don't go on Wolverton Mountain if you're looking for a wife. 'Cause Clifton Flowers has a pretty young daughter. He's mighty handy with a gun at night. Our tender lips are sweeter than honey, and Wolverton Mountain protects her there. Oh, the bears and the birds tell Clifton Flowers if a stranger should wander there. Now all my dreams on Wolverton Mountain, I want this dog for my wife. I'll take my chance, I'm gonna climb that mountain, though Clifton Flowers may take my life. Our tender lips are sweeter than honey, and Wolverton Mountain protects her there. Oh, the bears and the birds tell Clifton Flowers if a stranger should wander there. Now I'm gonna climb that mountain. I'm gonna get the one I love. I'm going up. I'm going up on Wolverton Mountain. It's the lonesome down here below. You know it just ain't right for him to hide that daughter from the one who loves her so. Said her tender lips are sweeter than honey, and Wolverton Mountain protects her there. Oh, the bears and the birds tell Clifton Flowers if a stranger should wander there. Well, I don't care about Clifton Flowers. I'm gonna climb up on that mountain. I'm gonna get the one I love. I don't care about Clifton Flowers. I'm gonna like you, Claude King. These are my people, I tell you.
All righty.
Oh, God. I want to kiss you all over and over again.
When we started this, we had no sponsors. We would hold up signs. And at that part, we'll probably go to one of those little segments in the show where I'm holding up Bob Evans. Said, they're not our sponsor.
And drop it.
Yeah.
Dollar General.
And then come back
Dollar
to us and
General,
we'll
they're
all
not
go,
our sponsor.
losers.
We tried to warn you.
And you see these.
Uh-huh.
There's Dollar General.
The sponsors we don't have.
We don't have. Tractor Supply, they're
What is
upside down.
wrong
We'll
with
turn
those
them right
people?
side up when they, oh, never. Do you remember when you started sponsoring the show?
Larry invited me down when we were in
Programmers
Omaha.
Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was to bring either, who was it, Mo?
Johnny
Come on.
Lee?
No.
No.
Buck Trent. Buck Trent.
Buck Trent and Mo Bandy.
And I said, well, we'll come down, and that's how it got started. And I sat there and brought him down and really had no intentions, and I had the best day of my life. Just sitting there, it was so easy, and no script and no nothing, and we just talked.
Yeah, we were doing our own show.
We were doing our own show
at that time.
And we were just one of the many.
What was that show about?
Is selling Western,
Yeah, we
shopping
would
Western stuff.
talk about product. We'd bring in manufacturers we'd talk about the latest and the greatest new designs, new technology. We'd go to the factories, show product being made inside the factories.
It was very
Yeah, it was very boring.
Kind of like a shopping channel?
Ratings Nobody watched
Kind of like a shopping
Yeah, it's a cross between QVC and HSN.
How long did that go on?
7, 8 years.
Really?
2006 to 2012 when we met Larry
Patrick
the
first
first
stopped. He
time.
came by. He said, "I want you to do this." I said, "No," and that was in October, November of the first year we tried that.
Yep.
They sold 5 boots all
I would love to see.
Eventually, you run out of content. The problem is, you've been everywhere. There's only so much you can do, and so we ran out of content.
7 years, that's a good
And that's when we came down there and said, "Okay, we don't want to do both."
Well, we did for about 6 months.
Yeah, we did because we
lapped over for 6 months.
And what was the name of the show?
Shopping Western Style.
Shopping Western Style.
Yep.
And it was starring Randy and Paul.
Everybody was in it.
I watched it late at night just so I could fall asleep.
Hey, Keith, can I have those boots back?
Okay.
They're worn out.
Vince Gill stopped by. It fell apart.
That was the point. My whole career has been about collaborating, from day one, and it's never going to change. The reason I made this record with Paul Franklin called Bakersfield.
Let's talk about Paul Franklin. Now, he is a superb. I noticed that he's got his name on his guitar. Do you have a Gill on your guitar?
No, sir. Couldn't spell it.
One of these days when you really make it big, boy, you can get Gill on your guitar.
Yeah, how come country is bigger than Larry?
That's it. I don't have to put up with this.
Shut him down at last.
I don't have to put up with this. You go ahead, Keith. Get him into a song.
This Bakersfield album, you just full of all kinds. You got "Fooling Around" and "Brandy," all those great songs out of Bakersfield. Yeah.
You
With that great
make a
steel
bad
guitar
choice.
work. Let's hear a little Tom Brumley and a little Norm Hamlet.
Ralph Booney. And we tried to tribute all the great musicians that started that style of music. James Burton, Roy Nichols.
Well, it was so original, I mean, what they did.
Really fresh.
Oh, I've got a co-host. I'm sorry. Are you ready to hear a song, Nadine?
I am.
Are you ready to hear a song?
Yeah.
Without further ado, I give you Vince Gill and Paul Franklin. Where's Larry?
Holding things together ain't no easy thing to do. When it comes to raising children, it's a job meant for two. Alice, please believe me, I can't go on and on holding things together with you gone. Today was Angie's birthday. I guess it slipped your mind. I tried twice to call you, no answer either time. Postman brought the package I mailed some days ago. I just signed it, love from Mama, so Angie wouldn't know. Holding things together ain't no easy thing to do. When it comes to raising children, job meant for two. Alice, please believe me,
I can't go on and on, holding things together with you gone. Together ain't no easy thing to do when it comes to raising children. It's a job meant for two. Alice, please believe me, I can't go on and on. Oh, together with you gone. Alice, please believe me, I can't go on and on, holding things together with you gone.
Boot Daddy.
Well, Larry, it's just always a pleasure. And you see from some of these great shows that we've had nothing but a great time being on Larry's Country Diner. But so we thought we'd kick off something different this year. Especially being involved with Tony Lama. It's a great partner with us. We're going to do the Great American Boot Today giveaway at PFI. You know, at PFI Western, because people come see us. You made us put up another sign, Home of Boot Daddy, just so make sure. Now we change our GPS. It says Boot Daddy instead of PFI, but we got it done.
Go to bootdaddy.com right now, and I brought 2 boots with me. One of the ladies' new boots that just came in, beautiful brown with a turquoise top. And then we brought back a throwback. They just started making a lizard again. And this is one that we used to sell just tons and tons of. Back in the 80s and actually in the late 70s, early 80s, the lizard was the exotic boot to have.
Weren't you in the crib then?
Yes. Yes, exactly. Thank you.
What kind of lizard is it?
It's iguana.
Yeah.
Iguana.
Iguana or a Teju lizard is what they make these out of. And it's a very soft boot, very supple boot. But if you go to bootdaddy.com right now, you register to win a Tony Lama boot valued up to $250.
Per day.
Per day.
Per day.
For the next week.
For this next week.
For the whole week. Till next week's show.
Till next
How's that?
For 7 days, we're giving away a boot a day forever.
Yes, a Tony Lama boot.
If you could get a boot made out of one of those chamalons or whatever they call it, and then it would just change to whatever color.
Oh, a chameleon.
Chameleon. Chamalons. A chameleon. And then it could just change to whatever color you had on.
Well, yeah, that was another new. Chamalon.
That is from the Gus Arundel definition book.
We won't.
I like that.
So we got to get
chameleon boots coming soon.
Chamalon to follow later.
Sound French. That's right. That sound French.
Oh my gosh. And then, Larry, we have really something super special. November 7th, next week. We're going to show you right now a 30-second clip of a new Boot Daddy video from the Texas Tenors.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
All eyes open for the Boot Daddy, boot scooting, two-stepping, toe-tapping, heel-stomping like he's on air. Tight blue jeans and a buckle that blings with his name, Boot Daddy. Cowboy boots, slip-sliding, hard-working Boot Daddy. Handsome guy, little shy. There's only one Boot Daddy. He's a boot scooping, two-stepping, toe-tapping, heel-stomping Boot Daddy. Only one.
This is from their new CD, Rise, that hit #5 on the country charts. But we have our own Boot Daddy video and Boot Daddy song, thanks to the Texas Tenors, written about 3 years ago on Bill Medley's basement in his house in Branson, Missouri. And we had a great time. And it's coming out November 7th, and you can find it at bootdaddy.com or at iTunes and other places, but come to bootdaddy.com.
We're going to get Nadine to learn the Boot Daddy line dance.
Do you realize we're one of the only shows that does 10-minute commercials?
And they're
Yeah, right. Talk to me about Tartar.
TartarUSA.com, another acronym you couldn't get right. I think we were, I don't even remember what we were. We were Tartar Gate or Tartar Farm and Ranch or something.
You changed your website because I couldn't
But it worked out great because it became a better domain and everybody's email address changed. Now they're going to learn it was because of Larry Black. It's easier to type. So see, even by accident, you're making, you're turning everything into gold. Don't think I'm going to make that, and I want to see you and you try to do that. I want to see that. I guess that's the trend where it's going.
6 seconds.
6 seconds. Yeah, you got to get your message.
New.
TartarUSA.com. It's really an honor to be a sponsor of this show and be with this group. It's a great group of people, very talented. Being the least talented of all these people, I've got to meet some wonderful people. I mean, everybody that comes in contact with the show, except maybe 1 or 2 people who I won't name. No, but I just started doing the consumer marketing. I'd never been in front of a camera, scared to death. And these guys, well, you weren't here yet, but these two, before Gus got there, they were, I mean, I was so sick.
Well, guess what we got now?
We got a farm supply company.
Look at that thing right there.
Tartar Farm and Ranch Equipment.
Right over there. See, Scotty, where are you, Scotty?
He's down
Where did
here.
Scotty go? Oh, hi, Scotty. That's Ann Tartar. Hey, Ann.
Hi
How
there.
are you?
I'm well. How are you?
How long has this company been going?
Since 1945.
You weren't alive then.
No, my great-grandfather started the company.
Wow.
And what was the very first piece of farm equipment you guys did?
Wooden gates.
Wooden gates.
Yeah, we made about 17 a day in the beginning. Sold them to local farmers.
17 a day?
Yeah, now we make 3,000 a day.
And where's your headquarters?
Dunville, Kentucky, little bitty town in Kentucky. And my marketing director was looking around for the best sponsorship to reach our customer, you know, those that wanted to buy American, that believed in American-made quality, and were farmers or lived, you know, the rural lifestyle. And when you look at that, it's this customer base, you know, very, very patriotic, extremely patriotic and loyal. And he said, "This is the one," you know.
Wow.
And so I started watching it because I'm not a TV person. I live in a bubble. And I was like, yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
While we keep laughing, how about we show you another great song from a past diner show?
It's rained 5 days and washed out the road. Daddy's in a ditch and he can't get towed. Mama ain't worried, she knows what to do. She's got an old truck but could use a canoe. The pond overflowed and the creek got high. But she ain't worried, she's got 4-wheel drive. So we piled in and pulled out of the shed. Kids in the cabin, dogs in the bed. But we can't pick Daddy up. Mama got the truck stuck. Oh, it's happened before, and it'll happen again. Mama knows how to drive, but she don't know how to swim. And we can't pick Daddy up. Mama got the truck stuck. It got real muddy running back to the house. Mama went to the barn, got the tractor out. Popping the clutch and grinding gears, swearing like a foul-mouthed auctioneer. She stopped by the shed, got an old log chain, got down in the mud, hooked it to the frame. I yelled out, Mama, don't even try. She said, don't worry, baby, it's four-wheel drive. But we still can't pick Daddy up. Mama got the tractor stuck. Oh, it's happened before, and it'll happen again. Mama knows how to drive, but she don't know how to swim. And we can't pick Daddy up. Mama got the truck stuck. Until it all dries up, Daddy's plumb out of luck. 'Cause Mama got the truck stuck.
I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Guess who just walked in?
Your mama. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. How are you? I tell you one thing. My mama looks down from heaven and sees me with all this garbo, and she's going to think I'm going to hell in a handbasket. Oh, me. Well, I got to tell you, Homer's not feeling well, and he's going to have some minor surgery.
Oh, my goodness.
He just carried on. I told him, I said, you know, minor surgery is no big deal. He said, you know what minor surgery is? It's when it's happening to somebody else.
That's true.
That's right. Yeah. But they put him in the hospital. He's had so many kidney stones, they had to call in a geologist. But he had this boy, they had to share a room, you know. We couldn't afford that, you know, all that private room. And he had this boy in there with him, and I walked in there, first day that boy was there, and he had bandages from his head to his feet. And I said, Law, boy, what happened to you? I said, what do you do for a living? He said, I'm a window washer. Or I was a window washer. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, what happened? When did you quit? He said, oh, about halfway down.
I quit.
But I ain't had no surgeries this year. I guess I'll just have to talk about all my old ones. But, I did get a new insurance policy. He came out to the house, this little insurance boy came out to the house, and I bought a policy. I don't know what all that fine print says, but I know that when I die, I don't have to make any more payments.
That's good.
Yep. That insurance, I'm telling you, it's just like, you know, you just live poor and you die rich.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah. It's betting them that you're going to die before they pay off. Mm-hmm. And they're betting, I don't understand. It should be called death insurance, but nobody would buy it.
No, they see my eating habits. They know I'm going fast.
But happy.
Happy. Homer, they checked out his medical records, and they told him they could sell him insurance a minute at a time.
The actuarial terms would agree with that, huh?
What'd you say? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I'm going to go over there and put the sign up.
Already? What's it going to say? Last one you had was too long.
I know, this is a shorter one. I spent a week and a half over there trying to get them letters up.
You can't, a letter at a time, you have to order a whole new alphabet.
This is a good one. Life ain't about how fast you run or how high you climb. It's about how well you can bounce.
There you go.
That's good.
That's about my
It's awfully
motto.
long.
I'm bouncing pretty well. Like.
Thank you, Nadine. Appreciate you coming by.
Abilene, Abilene, prettiest town that I've ever seen. Folks out there don't treat you mean in Abilene, my Abilene.
Let me start it off by telling about Springer Mountain Farms fresh chicken. We don't ever use any antibiotics. They're fed only a pesticide-free vegetarian diet. We're certified by the American Humane Association that we're good to our chickens. We never feed any animal byproducts. We're raised cage-free. It's the best chicken, the best tasting chicken I think that there is out on the market. Where can you buy the best tasting chicken out on the market?
Where can you buy the best?
Where can you buy it? Yes. Now this is pretty new. It's not new, but pretty new. This at Lidl. Lidl is a brand new. It's a German grocery store chain. They're coming in the United States. They're going everywhere. Right now we've got about we've got about 20 stores in 3 states. We're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and opening up this summer and a whole lot of other places. So go to Lidl, and it's under Springer Mountain Farms. You'll see the label right up there in our American Humane Association label. Next up, I would like to talk about IGA, Independent Grocers Association. They're real good to us. They've got Springer Mountain Farms, their stores. They've got 69 stores, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. So go to your IGA store, it's under the Springer Mountain Farms label. I've got something here in my pocket that I would like to take out. I always like this. People write it all the time, and we just love it. And this comes from Renee Harrell from Johnsonville, South Carolina. And Miss Harrell says, I did not know it was Springer Mountain Farms chicken until I started watching Larry's Country Diner. That is the only brand I will buy now. So what a great compliment to the show, Larry. Yeah. I wondered where that came in from. And last but not least, this is new. This is brand new. Biscuitville. Biscuitville, it's a great little restaurant. Go there. It is. They got 53 restaurants in 2 states, North Carolina and Virginia. Go there and buy your Springer Mountain Farms chicken at Biscuitville, and it's new. Thank you very much. Biscuitville.
You know, Larry, this is...
That's an original name,
Where do you
isn't it?
live? I live in Biscuitville, Virginia.
That's right.
But I wanted to mention that I heard a story in Ireland recently about a young man who fell in love with a lady on a neighboring farm. His name was Joseph Scriven. He fell in love with this young lady in Banbridge, Northern Ireland, and they were engaged to be married. And the day before the wedding, she was out riding horseback on her family farm. The horse stumbled near a stream. She fell into the water, hit her head, and drowned the day before the wedding. Well, as you can imagine, he was so heartbroken he couldn't even face the beautiful green fields of Ireland where he had courted his sweetheart, fallen in love. So like so many Irish men and women, he immigrated to Canada. A lot of them came here. He went to Canada, to Port Hope, Ontario, and he became a tutor there. He was a school teacher by trade. Years later, in midlife, to his great surprise, he fell in love again. And because Joseph was a Christian, he witnessed to his sweetheart about his Savior. She became a Christian, and she wanted to be baptized. They were engaged to be married. Well, it was March. If you've ever been swimming in a creek or a lake in Canada in March, you know what's coming. She was baptized in Rice Lake, Ontario, got the flu, it became pneumonia, and the week before the wedding, she drowned.
Whoa.
She died.
Yeah.
Yeah, she died from the baptizing. Now, that's twice in Joseph Scriven's life he lost a chance to be a husband and father, and you think, well, wouldn't he become a bitter old guy? He didn't. He decided that maybe the Lord didn't want him to have a wife, so he dedicated his life to helping other people. He would chop firewood for widow ladies. This was in the 1800s, and in Canada, that's a big deal in the winter. He chopped firewood. He gave away a gold pocket watch that he brought with him from Ireland, a family heirloom, to a widow lady to buy a cow. And he was always helping people. Late in his life, folks started calling him the Good Samaritan of Port Hope, Ontario. Newspaper man came to interview him and was looking through his papers and came across a poem. And he said, Mr. Scriven, what's this? And Joseph said, oh, it's just a little poem I wrote for my mother back in Ireland. I heard she was
very ill, and I couldn't afford to go see her, and I didn't even know if he'd get there in time, but I wanted to encourage her. The newspaper man said, "Can I print it in the paper?" And Joseph said, "Well, nobody wants to see that. It's just a poem from a mother." He printed it in the paper. Somebody wrapped a Christmas present, like we all do, and packed newspaper in to keep it from breaking, to send it off to New York City. And whoever opened that package, their eyes fell on the very page where Joseph Scriven's poem was. Wow. And they were so moved by it, they passed it on to the great hymn writer, Charles Converse, who lived in New York City at the time. Mr. Converse wrote a melody to Joseph's poem. And I don't think Joseph ever lived long enough to know that at one time the Christian Herald magazine named his hymn poem the second most popular hymn in the world, second only to Amazing Grace. And it was written by an Irishman named Joseph Scriven, who emigrated to Canada. Thanks to Joseph for this one. What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not everything to God in prayer. Here's a sheriff. Ain't that fine? How about a hand for the sheriff? Have we trials and temptation? Is there trouble everywhere? We should never be discouraged, and we ain't, are we? Take it to the Lord in prayer. Everybody, here we go. Can we find a friend so faithful?
Well, that's going to wrap it up for Larry's Country Diner for today. But hey, we're here all the time, so you join us again, won't you? Because the cameras are always rolling and we don't care.